Welcome to this short video on the results aspect of the rapid career development framework. It's really important to think about results and success and what you're aiming towards up front to make sure that we always keep our eye on the prize as we're moving through this process towards your next step in your career development. In this section, I'm going to talk you through 3 simple tools and 3 ways of working that allow you to think about your values and your priorities, what's in and out of your span of control, and finally setting a vision for success in terms of what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. So the first tool I want to look at is about you understanding your values and your priorities. It's really important in any sort of career transition stage that you understand yourself and what's important to you. So here's a simple tool that I was first introduced to by a coach of mine, the great Don McVeigh, now part of JumpShift. So if you want to check them out, they're jumpshift.co.nz. And the personal shield is all about capturing elements that are about what's important to you. And what you see on screen now is a blank personal shield. And this is about capturing 4 areas. It's about capturing who you are, what your values are, what your passions are, and what you want your future to be. And the exercise that you go through is actually have this out in front of you and draw it. Spend no more than about 10 minutes to draw out what's important to you in each of those areas. Just the first thing that comes to mind, and it has no matter whatsoever if you can't draw, and I can't draw at all. This is about capturing a means of communicating the things that are really important to you in each of those areas. And it's great for having a coaching conversation and a reflection and a personal reflection, talking to your spouse, your loved ones, maybe your boss, a trusted colleague, about what's important to you and why. And here's an example of one that I have drawn up myself. This is originally some scribbles. I've put it down into a digital format that captures a bit more about who I am. So if I was having a conversation around this, I talk about I am a Brit who's lived all over the world. I'm funnily enough educated, although some people would say that's debatable. I've moved all around the place. I've never really had a place called home. But when it comes to my career, it's all been about helping people perform, and being almost a translator between some systems. I had a lot of connection with the systems that people use and the users of those systems. What's important to me is my family, but it's also about time management. Time is critical for me. I love being on time. I like people to respect time, and I like people with integrity. That's really important to me. Passions, I love rugby. I love, at the time of this, I had a motorbike and I missed that thing. But I like being out with my friends and entertaining. I love to cook. But career-wise, my passion's around helping others with the toolkit that I've got. And then think about what your future wants to be, both in terms of the career, but also your life. You know, what's important to you in terms of the money that you have? Is it health, wealth, a combination of the two? Is one more important than the other? And where do you want to be from a family perspective? You know, are you looking? This matters because are you looking to have a family, grow a family? Are you looking to just be focused on your own career? Is that the most important thing to you? None of this is right or wrong. It's all about what's important to you and gives you an opportunity to capture that stuff down. Have a look at the personal shield, have a go yourself. And again, if you're ever having any issues or you want to follow it up in any way, contact me through the website. Now, the second tool is about understanding your span of control. This can be particularly important if you're going through a forced career move. So particularly if you're being made redundant, you are being forced somewhere else, your circumstances mean that you have to have another job. Now, this is about understanding what's in your control and what isn't, and getting your headspace in the right area so that you're focusing your energy on the stuff that you can control and setting back and setting aside the stuff that you can't control. I find it particularly useful to just grab some Post-its, pop these things on a wall, or you might just want to grab a pen and paper, document the things that are important to you. In this example, we talk about the things that are out of my control, might be about how people have perceived me up to this point. I can't control that anymore. That's not up to me. Out of my control is also about the decision to make the role redundant. You know, that's not something that I can influence at that stage. But maybe in my control is about my perception throughout this process. How do people perceive me in terms of the professionalism in which I approach going through a career transition? And this doesn't just have to be for a redundancy case, it can be for any sort of career transition move. And also in my control, it's about my future career path. I can choose where I want to go. So it's important for me to get into my head that these are the things that I can control, these are the things that I can't. It's a great way of just getting your energy and your focus on the things that really matter, the things that you can influence the outcome of. And the third thing to look at in this area of results from the rapid career development framework is about understanding your vision of success. Not only in terms of thinking about your long-term career visions, but also what does success mean for you in terms of what you achieve and how you achieve it. Again, this is an exercise you can do with post-it notes, with just pen and paper. You can talk to people about it. I would encourage you to document it in some way or other. And some of those things might be, here's some examples from a time that I went through this. It might be about, I don't want any negative financial impact. Money might not be the driver, but I don't want to, at a time in my career, I don't want to be taking a negative impact in terms of the money that I take home. It might be about the security for my family or the ability to stretch and challenge myself. Any of these things might be seen as success. And ultimately, what I really want is success that brings all of these elements in play. So have a think about what's really important to you in terms of what you want to achieve from your career development and your career transition, but also how you want to achieve it as well. So hopefully what you've got here is 3 simple tools to help you start to understand results in terms of your career development and what's important to you. Give me a shout with any thoughts, feedback, and I'll see you in the next video for the element of action. What can we do about some of these things?